The rain had not stopped all night. Police lights painted the quiet street in red and blue flashes as officers moved in and out of the small brick house at the end of the road. Yellow tape fluttered in the cold wind. Inside the house, the air was heavy. A crime had been committed. Detective Ryan Carter stepped into the living room slowly, scanning every corner with calm but sharp eyes. The room looked ordinary at first glance. Family photos on the wall, a couch slightly out of place, a table with a knocked-over glass. But Ryan knew something terrible had happened here. A young woman named Emily Dawson had been reported missing earlier that evening. Her husband claimed he came home from work and found the house like this, but something about the story didn't sit right. Officer Maya Lopez stood near the doorway, holding a flashlight. "No signs of forced entry," she said quietly. "Neighbors said they heard shouting around 9 p.m. Ryan crouched near the broken glass on the floor. "Shouting from who?" "Not sure," Maya replied. "Just yelling." Then silence. Ryan studied the room again. The couch had scratch marks along the side. A lamp had fallen. The carpet was slightly wrinkled, like someone had been dragged across it. This wasn't just a disappearance. This was a struggle. "Where's the husband?" Ryan asked. "In the patrol car outside." Ryan stepped outside into the rain. The husband, Daniel Dawson, sat in the back seat of a police car, hands trembling. Ryan opened the door. "Mr. Dawson, we need to talk again." Daniel nodded nervously. "I already told the officers everything," he said. "I came home and she was gone." Ryan leaned slightly closer. "You said you got home at 9:30. "Yes. But your neighbor heard shouting at 9. Daniel swallowed hard. Maybe they were mistaken. Ryan watched his eyes carefully. People lied with their words, but their eyes told the truth. "Did you and Emily argue tonight?" Ryan asked. Daniel shook his head quickly. "No, never." But Ryan had already noticed something earlier inside the house. On the kitchen counter, there were 2 cups of coffee, still warm. Someone had been there recently. Ryan walked back inside. Maya followed him. "You think the husband did it?" she asked. Ryan didn't answer yet. He walked slowly through the house, step by step, until he reached the hallway. That's when he noticed something small. Mud. Tiny spots of mud on the floor, leading toward the back door. Ryan opened the door. The rain had softened the ground outside, turning the backyard into wet soil. But there were clear footprints, 2 different sets, one large, one smaller. Ryan's voice became firm. "Someone left through here." Maya crouched beside the prints. "The smaller ones, Emily's maybe?" Ryan nodded. "But look closely." The larger prints didn't belong to Daniel's shoes. Ryan remembered the husband's footwear clearly. These were boots, heavy ones. Someone else had been in the house. Suddenly a radio crackled. "Detective Carter, we found something in the alley behind the house." Ryan and Maya rushed outside. An officer pointed toward a black van parked nearby. The back door of the van was slightly open. Ryan approached carefully, gun ready. His heart beat harder with each step. He pulled the door open. Inside was rope, tape, and a phone lying on the floor. The phone buzzed suddenly. A new message appeared. Ryan picked it up. The screen read, "Bring the money or she disappears forever." Ryan frowned. "Kidnapping," Maya whispered. Ryan turned toward Daniel, who was now being escorted from the patrol car. "You didn't tell us someone threatened you," Ryan said firmly. Daniel's face turned pale. I thought it was a prank." Ryan held up the phone. "This isn't a prank." Daniel's voice cracked. "They wanted money. They said if I told the police, they'd hurt her." Ryan understood now. This wasn't a murder. Emily had been taken, but she was still alive. And there was still time. Ryan studied the phone carefully. Another message appeared. "Old warehouse by the river. Come alone." Ryan looked at Maya. "They want the husband," she said. Ryan shook his head. "No, they want a trap." Within minutes, police cars moved quietly toward the river, lights off, sirens silent. The old warehouse stood like a dark shadow beside the water. Ryan entered slowly through a broken door. Inside, the air smelled of rust and damp wood. Then he heard something, a muffled sound, someone struggling. Ryan followed the noise to a corner of the warehouse, and there she was, Emily Dawson, tied to a chair, alive. 2 masked men stood nearby, arguing. "They're late," one said. "They'll come," the other replied. Ryan stepped forward. "Police, don't move." The criminals spun around in panic. One tried to run. Maya tackled him before he reached the door. The other raised a knife, but froze when Ryan aimed directly at him. Seconds later, officers stormed in. The suspects were arrested. Emily was freed from the ropes. She burst into tears of relief. "Thank you," she whispered to Ryan. Outside, the rain finally stopped. Daniel ran to her, hugging her tightly. Police lights still flashed in the distance, but now the tension had lifted. Ryan watched quietly as the couple reunited. Maya walked beside him. "Another mystery solved," she said. Ryan smiled slightly. "Not just solved." He looked toward the sunrise beginning to appear beyond the river. Saved. And for the first time that night, the city felt peaceful again. The end.